To some extent, what the Supreme Court did today was say, oh, you know what, the courts aren't going to have the rules here. We're going to have more of the political entities do it, both state and federal. Give us a sense of what is doable politically in response to this decision.
Well, I think what the court said was very dramatically that 50 years of precedent and the United States Supreme Court don't matter. And that actually we don't believe that the right to abortion, the freedom to make decisions about your own life in this way is guaranteed by the Constitution. And as you say, then what that means is that it pushes it back to state legislatures all across the country. I can't think of another example where the court has said this fundamental freedom is going to be determined based on where you live in this country, which is now the reality that American women are going to be facing. And of course, across the country, there are trigger laws in place. What that means is a law that says as soon as Roe versus Wade is overturned, which it has been as of today, the right to abortion is gone in this state. I think about 26 states, people's right to access to abortion care will be either dramatically reduced or gone altogether. So this is going to create a crisis for women all across the country. And it'll also create a crisis for states where abortion will still be legal as folks try to figure out how to get access to the care that they need so that they have control over their own lives.
Let's talk about the Congress first, where you serve up there. There are people now calling for federal legislation to reinstate the protections of Roe versus Wade. Let's be honest, it might be something you would like, but is there any realistic prospect of that?
No, there isn't. In the United States Senate, as you know, you have to have 60, not 51, but 60 people to go along with any piece of legislation that passes, and we don't have 60 people in the Senate. It's also important to know that the Republican Party and the leader of the Republican Party in the Senate has said that he believes that the idea of a national ban on abortion would be on the table if Republicans were in control of the Senate. So you're right. The debate over abortion and who gets to decide will continue in Congress, even as it gets played out in hundreds of different ways in state legislatures around the country.
When you talk about a possible ban on abortion, and we did hear, I think it was Mitch McConnell talked about it, wasn't it? As a practical matter, does the filibuster rule that has really defeated some efforts from the Democrats turn around the other way, assuming, in fact, they get a majority, but it's not enough to beat the filibuster?
Well, I think that that's true under the rules of the Senate as they stand right now. There would not be, depending on who's in the Senate and all of the ins and outs of our process, I think that that's true. But I think it's really important for people to understand this is a fundamental difference between the two parties in our country. And I think that there's just no doubt that my party is much more aligned with where Americans are. Americans believe that it should be people and not government who decide.